Honorable Chief Minister of Bihar, Sri Nitish Kumar ji, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, Sri Sushil Modi ji, Professor Joseph Stiglitz, Professor Ania Stiglitz, Dr. Shoibal Gupta, Dr. P Ghosh, ladies and gentlemen, I have been entrusted today with a job which is both superfluous on the one hand and impossible on the other. Superfluous because Professor Stiglitz needs no introduction. It's difficult or almost impossible, since to provide you with even an inkling of the contributions made by Professor Stiglitz will take too much time. Professor Stiglitz, along with George Akerlof and Michael Spence, received the Bank of Sweden Prize in Economic Sciences in memory of Alfred Nobel in 2001 for their analysis of markets with asymmetric information. Professor Stiglitz was born in 1943 in the steel town of Gary, Indiana. He has been, till date, the second Nobel laureate in economics from Gary, Indiana. Professor Paul Samuelson, the first Nobel laureate in economics, was also from the same town. He studied in public schools and learned two trades, printing and becoming an electrician. His college was Amherst, and the close relationship with his teachers aided his development. Not surprisingly, he attributes his success to the quality of education that he received. His far-sighted teachers, seeing his progress, sent him off to MIT quickly enough so that he didn't have to wait for a degree. The fact that he lacked a degree did not bother him and did not bother MIT either. He spent some time at the other Cambridge in England, again sent from MIT. Now, like many fundamental contributions, the contributions of the 2001 laureates stem from a fairly straightforward observation. We are all aware of markets with asymmetric information, except perhaps we did not know that this was the name. Consider, for instance, what we do when we want to buy something. We ask friends or neighbors. This is because information is not available about the quality of products. Only the trader concerned knows the quality of the product being sold. The buyer does not. And herein lies the asymmetry. That this simple observation, when taken into account, will affect conclusions in economics, was established by the efforts of these laureates. In fact, two of the 2001 laureates realized how crucial this aspect was when they came to work in countries where markets were not developed and the lack of information between buyers and sellers could not be assumed away. Professor Akerlof, who shared the award with Professor Stiglitz and who has been his co-author on many significant contributions, was in India when he made the seminal contribution. Professor Stiglitz attributes the time he spent in Kenya as playing a major role in the formation of his ideas about the economics of information. The experience of watching a developing economy function, if that is the right word, led to insights which would not have been possible in any advanced country. In fact, the Nobel Committee's citation describes Professor Stiglitz as one of the founders of modern development economics. He has shown that asymmetric information and economic incentives are not merely theoretical niceties, but actual aspects of reality, and they are especially important in the analysis of institutions and market conditions in developing economies. Important path-breaking papers followed rapidly, and he worked with many gifted individuals. We do not have time to take you through all the co-authors that he worked with, but there is one name that would interest the Patna audience, Partha Dasgupta, whose father, Professor A.K. Dasgupta, was the head of the A. N. Sinha Institute, which is just down the road from here. Their work concerned the re-examination of Schumpeterian competition. Many of the Schumpeterian conclusions were changed when the work on information and technical change were taken into account. Professor Stiglitz gained preeminence rapidly. He became first a member of President Clinton's Council of Economic Advisors and then the chairman of the council. He also was involved with the International Panel for Climate Control. He played a central role in developing the so-called third way, the view that unfettered markets did not work and that although limited, the government had a role. He moved to the World Bank and left it when the Washington Consensus was being foisted on to any discussion on development economics. During the last 4 or 5 years, Professor Stiglitz has been a fairly severe critique of the way that not only the markets have been allowed to rule, but also about the nature of US policies. The titles of his books may indicate the breadth of his criticism. In 2008, appeared the $3 trillion war, the true cost of the Iraq conflict. In 2010, appeared the Stiglitz Report, which was the report of a commission appointed by the UN, chaired by Professor Stiglitz, to reform the functioning of the international monetary and fiscal systems in the light of the global financial crisis. At the same time, together with Amartya Sen and Jean-Paul Fitoussi, he completed Mismeasuring Our Lives, Why GDP Does Not Add Up. The same year, his book titled Free Fall, America's Free Markets and the Sinking World Economy was published. His latest, The Price of Inequality, appeared in 2012. This has been an extraordinary achievement. Incidentally, I have not provided you with an exhaustive list. I have merely provided you with a very select few. Professor Stiglitz has been in the forefront, pointing out that it is the 1%, and here is a phrase which is identified exclusively with him, who are lording it over the rest, destroying the social fabric. There is, of course, much, much more. You will all have not come to hear only about Professor Stiglitz. You've come to hear him, so I should stop at this stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mukherjee. I would now like to request our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Nitish Kumar ji, to please come and address the gathering. Can I request our Deputy Chief Minister, Shri Sushil Kumar Modi ji, to please come and address the gathering.
मुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय श्री नीतीश कुमार जी, विश्वविख्यात अर्थशास्त्री एवं नोबेल पुरस्कार प्राप्त प्रोफेसर जोसेफ स्टिग्लिट्ज, बिहार सरकार के शिक्षा मंत्री श्री पी के शाही जी, आईजीसी के कंट्री डायरेक्टर श्री प्रोफेसर अंजन मुखर्जी जी, आदरी के मेंबर सेक्रेटरी श्री शेवाल गुप्ता जी, आदरी के निदेशक प्रोफेसर पी घोष जी और उपस्थित बहनों और भाइयों। मित्रों, मैं शेवाल गुप्ता जी को धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। इन्होंने 2 नोबेल पुरस्कार विजेताओं को हमारे सामने पिछले 3 वर्षों में लाने का काम किया है। प्रोफेसर अमर्त्य सेन लगातार 2 बार बिहार आ चुके हैं और आज आदरी और शेवाल गुप्ता के प्रयास से प्रोफेसर स्टिग्लिट्ज हम लोगों के बीच में हैं। मित्रों, हम सब लोग उनकी बातों को सुनने के लिए आए हैं, लेकिन मैं प्रोफेसर स्टिग्लिट्ज को केवल जो उन्होंने भारत में अपने जो भाषण दिए हैं, so I would like to quote some of the quotes which Mr. Stiglitz has mentioned in his speech in Bangalore and some other places. One is regarding the FDI in retail, the topic which is being debated in India. And Mr. Stiglitz says about Walmart. Walmart brings greater capacity in bribery. Don't focus on FDI in the belief that it will solve all problems. There is no shortage of entrepreneurs in India. So look at what is foreign investment bringing that Indian entrepreneurs cannot bring. Walmart certainly brings greater capacity in bribery. It was their source of success in Mexico. So, Mitron, I've studied Walmart's supply chain in other countries. They have not worked. Foreign investment may use their monopsony power, a large buyer controlling a large proportion of the market and driving prices down to bring Chinese goods that reduce the prices that the Indian suppliers can get and thereby increase inequality. You have also mentioned regarding one more topic regarding the inequality in America. And Professor Stiglitz had mentioned in his speech how inequality has widened in the United States in the last 30 years.